in the building.
Street executives.
Georgia Muscle Rock.
DJ. Technique.
What's happening, everybody? Of course, it's your host, Brink Young, and you are tuning in to the most award-winning talk show in Memphis and the Mid-South. Of course, the trophies are behind us, Brink TV. Now, do not adjust your TV set. We got a new face to the Brink TV show. I'm talking about my homie. I'm talking about the man himself, Mr. Brandon Scanavich. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, Brink. How you doing, man?
Hey, first and foremost, I got to say thanks for coming on the show. Means a lot to have you on the couch, man.
Man, I'm glad to be here. I've heard a lot of good things about the White Couch,
Yeah,
Brink
yeah.
TV. Glad to be here. I'm glad you opened up your doors for me, man.
Most definitely. Now, you talking about opening up doors, man. This guy actually opened up several doors for me. We're going to get into that in a second, but I'm talking about multi-talented actor, comedian. We're talking about promoter. He's also, I mean, he just does it all. He's also a musician. So let's go ahead and get into you as a person, man. Where you coming from, man?
I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. I was born and raised, went to school in South Haven, Mississippi.
Gotcha.
Back in 2015, I relocated to San Francisco Bay Area, California.
Wow. So you mean to tell me that you come from Memphis, Tennessee, you made the jump or the trek all the way to California? What was that like for you?
It was a faith leap. It was a big jump.
Yeah.
I chose. A lot of people ask me why I chose Cali.
Right.
It's because, and I chose Cali because I saw a lot of people leave Memphis, saw a lot of people leave home and go to maybe Nashville, go to maybe Atlanta.
Yeah.
And what I noticed about those people, some of them, not everybody, but what I noticed was, you know, they came right back.
Right.
Most of them came right back.
Yeah.
So I wanted to challenge myself to a point to where if I left, I wanted to go the farthest distance away. That way when things got a little rough, I couldn't just run back home.
Right.
You know, so I had to stick it out, had to toughen up, make it do what it do. So Cali was just a perfect fit. Like I said, I still own I still occupy a residence there today. I don't really see myself, you know, being, if I had to go back and do it again, I would do Cali all over again.
Yeah.
It was an amazing opportunity. I do a lot of work out of Los Angeles now on the the film production side and the promotion side. So like I said, Cali was just a great fit, and I still love it today.
That's awesome, man. And of course, like I say, with you being a Memphian, man, I want to know, man, growing up in Memphis, what was it like for you?
Well, see, my parents were never married. So my mother was always in Memphis, and my father was always in Mississippi, South Haven, you know, which is across the street.
Yeah.
So I'm not really someone who can have a conversation about North Memphis or South Memphis or Parkway and, you know, the Hickory here. I can't really have the East Side, Westwood. I can't really have those conversations because until I got a little older, I really didn't, you know, tread the city like that. I was just a country boy, you know.
Gotcha.
I remember the dirt roads, you know, the one lane highways, you know, one set of family living in the same area. I was a country boy, so you know, all I remember about the city is growing up was, you know, going to the malls, of course, because back when I was growing up, we didn't have the Tanger outlet malls and the town center and all that stuff. Now that stuff just came over the past decade or so.
It's true.
Yeah, so back when I was growing up, it was just, you know, Mississippi was just Mississippi, and Memphis was just the big city.
Yeah.
You know, the Liberty Land and all that stuff. That's the Mall of Memphis. You know, I was little back then.
Adventure River.
Oh man, Adventure River. Like, you know, we got to bring that stuff back. We got to get that stuff back, man.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, of course, man, we got to talk about the bread and butter that is music. You've been playing music for over 20 years, man. How did you get your start in music?
I came from a family of musicians.
Okay.
My dad got me started just like the typical musician. I started in the church.
Okay.
Church drums. It was two cats, Marlon and Wayne, and they were a lot older than I was, and both of them were drummers. So I would pray every week that neither one of them would show up. and if Wayne showed up, Marlon didn't. If Marlon showed up, Wayne didn't. So I never could get neither one. So I had to do something, man, that they really couldn't do. So I got a little closer to my dad, man, and started sitting under him, pecking on the keys, and it's just something I just grew into, and it became my passion, you know. And I just fell in love with the piano, fell in love with music, and I play all kinds of music.
Right.
I'm not one dimensional. I try to keep my mind open to all different kind of genres and all different kind of styles, and I listen to so many different artists, from country to rap to jazz. Man, you name it, I listen to it.
That's dope. That's dope. So music is taking you pretty much all over the country. Let's talk about. I remember we was talking off camera, and you said how you moved to California. You said September. What year was that?
2015.
2015, and you said by June, what was going on?
So when I moved, California is where I got into everything.
Okay.
Comedy,
Okay.
acting. But when I moved, none of that stuff was on my agenda. None of it was on my agenda. I simply moved to California to pursue music.
Right.
As a piano player.
Yeah.
I wanted to compose music for sitcoms, soap operas, movies, all that kind of stuff, you know. And I felt like California was a good place for me to do it.
Got you.
When I got there, I began to meet people who were involved in music. And one thing about California, people who are involved in the industry, they're involved in the industry. So if they're not a musician, they got ties to musicians. If they're not an actor, they got ties to the film industry. Some kind of way. It's just one big collective network in the industry out that way on the West Coast. So I got into playing for different bands. And when I got into playing for these bands, I began to meet people, and you never know who's in the audience. So you got doctors, nurses, comedy promoters, venue owners, all these people. You know, no matter what you do, everybody loves good music.
That's true.
So I just began to meet people, and I bumped into Michael Blackson's manager.
Wow, you talking about, what is this? I can't get jiggy. Michael Blackson. I
bumped into Blackson's manager, and he and I became the best of friends. And Michael Blackson was the first comedian to give me an opportunity to slang jokes on a major stage, on a major platform. Because when I was playing music, I was cracking jokes, and you know, they began to compare me to a young Jamie Foxx. But comedy was still never on my mind, though, you know. But when I started hanging close to Mike, then it's like all the doors open, you know. So I really appreciate Mike for that, you know, because that's something that a lot of cats don't have to do. They don't have to take people under their wings, you know. And he's helped a lot. He's helped a lot of people, you know, even cats that tour with him today, you know. But when I saw Mike doing what he was doing, you know, into my transition of moving to California, you know, people ask me, you know, who was my biggest inspiration, you know, when I was growing up. But to be honest with you though, Brink, I kind of knew that I would do comedy one day, because Malcolm and Eddie was my favorite show. You know, Eddie Griffin is my favorite comedian of all time.
That's dope.
I saw Eddie one time on the show and knew what I wanted to do. So it's like I knew what I wanted to do, but it wasn't necessarily on my agenda to do. But I knew deep down inside. So between Eddie, seeing Mike, and of course you can't watch Kevin without being inspired. So
of course,
you know, but just between the collaborative of those guys, man, it just stuck, man. It just stuck with me.
One thing that's amazing that I can definitely say is that your craft has led you to work with, as well as have relationships with some, I mean, talented, credible people. Who did you say your mentor was, man?
Clifton Powell is one of my biggest mentors.
You talk about Pinky.
Say it again.
Dope,
Clifton Powell. Also Mark John Jeffries, who is probably most known for his role as Isaiah, losing Isaiah. He was also young 50 Cent and Get Rich or Die Trying, and Lil Cease in Notorious. He and I have worked together quite a bit. We've done some film projects together. I was the first individual to bring him to Memphis for an acting workshop. That was back in 2016 as well, because I met him in New York. Actually, we were at a film festival or a film premiere or something, and man, we chopped the deal up on the spot. But what was crazy was, at the time, I was on tour, the Fresh and Funny Comedy Tour with Brandon T. Jackson. And Brandon and Mark did Big Mama's House 3 together. So when I met Mark, you know, Mark was like, you know, I see you with Brandon, man. I want to work with you too, you know. So it's just, man, the relationships, man, they just opened up doors, man, and I really thank God for it.
That's deep, man. That's deep. Now, of course, you've also brought some more talented acts to Memphis. Most recently, Leon and the Peoples, man. That's cool, man. I love that.
Leon is another another actor that really impacted my life early on. The Temptations and the Five Heartbeats were two movies that I would watch all the time growing
Definitely.
up. All the time I would watch those two movies growing up. And you can't watch Five Heartbeats without knowing JT.
Exactly.
You can't watch the Temptations without knowing David Ruffin. But you would have never ever made me believe that I would, 20 plus some years later, bring Leon and his band, which Leon and the Peoples, to my hometown and really be able to pick up the phone and call them. And it just it's surreal at times. And Leon, he's been a musician, he's been a singer for years. The Peoples have been together for about 10 or 11 years now.
Wow.
So what made me want to do that was I noticed people saying that they were kind of getting burnt out with doing a lot of the same things, hearing the same artists. So I wanted to do something out of the box. I wanted to do something different. And what better way than just reach out and get somebody that has impacted me, because I feel like when they impacted me, they'll impact somebody else too. So, and it was a great, we had you was at the show, we had a sold out show, man. It was incredible. So Leon will be back. He'll definitely be back.
Now, another credible person that you brought recently was I'm talking about Day 26 very own, Love and Hip Hop Hollywood very own Willie Taylor.
Willie.
Yeah.
So the thing about Willie was, before the Willie situation, I was evaluating my career and evaluating myself one day. And I was like, man, I love doing comedy. I love acting. But, man, we got so many actors, so many aspiring actors. We got so many comedians. We got so many up-and-coming comedians who are finding their niches and finding their ways. But I said, we don't have enough of the Russells, enough of the Diddies. Somebody's got to do the deal. So it's ironic because Diddy discovered Willie, the Day 26, the whole spiel. So Willie was doing some stuff, and a friend of mine, Sharonica, who launched her business Major Hot Wings, she was doing an event, and she came to me about getting her some people to come down and link her with some people to help endorse the event.
Right.
And at first I was like, man, this would be a good thing for Willie to perform. But I was like, even if he doesn't perform,
right,
just having him in the building, because, and it was so crazy because I found out later that she was crazy about Willie.
Wow.
So before I even brought it to her, I was talking to Willie about it, and I was getting ready to tell her about it. And then out of the blue one day, she was like, man, if I could just get somebody like Willie Taylor from Day 26.
Perfect.
I was like, oh, yeah,
Perfect.
I got you. But I still talk to Willie. Willie's working, man, working on some new projects. Day 26, a new day. The new album is out. The EP is out now. Those guys are extremely talented. Those guys are working. I've spoken with him recently about doing some stuff. So, man, it's just about scheduling and getting everybody together. We all thinking about coming together, doing some stuff, some pool parties, some day parties, man. You name it, man. We talking about it.
Man, I'm loving it. I just want to be in the building. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
All right, now another thing. Let's go ahead and transition into acting. You actually featured on a major series right now. It's being pitched right now, or you guys in the filming stage?
We're actually in pre-production.
Okay.
It's called The Green Bounty, which started out as a feature film.
Gotcha.
But when we began to pitch it, and we started to get the responses from the networks, they were saying, we see this as something ongoing. Right. We see this as a series, your Hulu, your Netflix. So I kind of took a step back and really kind of made some revisions to the script and everything like that. So, like I said, we're in pre-production for it now. I'm really just taking my time with it, being patient with it, attaching some great talent to it. Yeah. And I think the world's going to really be surprised when they see who we got coming aboard this thing.
Man, I can only imagine, because like I say, this guy is the man. He knows everybody. He's got a great relationship with everybody. Like, hey, you will be surprised who he knows and who will show up. So let's go ahead and talk about, you also got a few other independent projects that you got going on as far as for the film festivals and all of that. Any of those that you care to mention? Or?
Well, we got right now, like I tell people, the independent market is wide open right now. Everybody's looking for great content.
Right.
So right now we've got a lot of concepts floating around. We're bringing people on board that can kind of take what we have and just kind of enhance it and make it better. Right. a lot of which is going to be, you know, coming to the surface, you know, this year. Later on this year, a lot of stuff we can't really just disclose at the moment.
Yeah.
But, you know, I just tell people, man, just keep your eyes and ears open, you know, because we definitely, Scano Productions, I just released my film company, 357 Films. Also just started a talent agency. We're licensed and bonded here in the city of Memphis. It's called 7 Levels Talent Agency. We represent models and actors in TV and film, commercials, bookings, with the fashion shows. We looking to really just take the fashion market up a level in this region too as well. So many different things that we're doing and trying to do it right, man. Trying to do things the right way, because we got a lot of talent in the Mid-South. It's a lot of talent, and I think the problem is a lot of this talent just hasn't been exposed or just hasn't been, you know, seen by the right people or heard by the right people. And, you know, that's one of the areas of my company we trying to change that.
And he definitely knows the right people. So let's go ahead and get into all that booking information, social media, all of that. That way these people that are watching this right now, they can keep up with you as well as contact you.
Instagram, Twitter, best 2 outlets to reach me, Instagram, Twitter. I have a great team of representation. Brandon Scanavich, also at The Real Scano, TheRealScano, The Real Scano. Google Brandon Scanavich, you know the outlets. It's pretty direct, man. It's not really hard to reach out anymore, man. Digitally,
yeah.
You know, social media is running the whole camp, man.
You ain't lying.
You know what I'm saying? So like I said, Twitter, Instagram, main 2 platforms. You know, I'm very active on social media now. And when it comes to updates and really keeping up with things that's happening, that's like the best form, you know, best method of reaching out.
Okay, last question I got for you, my man. Let's say there's an aspiring actor or maybe comedian or musician that watching this right now. They're thinking about giving up. What advice would you have for them?
First and foremost, keep God first, man. That's where I start. God is everything. Secondly, man, I would say turn a deaf ear to the negativity. You know, you're gonna have people that's gonna say you're not funny when you are. They're gonna say, and I've dealt with all of that backlash. I've dealt with all of that negativity. You know, just keep God first. Keep doing you. Be consistent. You know, a lot of people, they kind of lose their way because of the lack of consistency. You know, today they want to act, then tomorrow they want to do real estate.
Wow.
Then the next day they selling hair.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Doing all that kind of stuff. But I mean, you get into something, not saying you can't do more than one thing. Right. You know what I'm saying? I mean, take my boy Kevin Hart, for example. Kevin has his hand in just about everything. Yeah. But primarily he got in with one thing.
Right.
See what I'm saying? So when you get in primarily with one avenue, then you begin to build relationships and connections, you know, and then it becomes a circle, a network of things that all work together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And, you know, be consistent. Actors, you know, this independent market is wide open. You know, put you some money up. Create your own content. You know, don't try to ball out early on, trying to book, you know, dig yourself into financial holes trying to book actors or A-list producers. You know, just get you a solid team. You know, no championship was won with one person.
No, sir.
You know, you need a solid team behind you. You know, don't make excuses. Get rid of the people who do, and you'll see a world of difference. I'm telling you.
Hey, I couldn't have said it no better myself. You guys continue to follow this young man. Like I say, he's multi-talented. He's got a lot going for himself. He has a lot in the works that you guys might want to check out as well as be a part of. With that being said, I got to say thank you again for coming on the show.
Thank you, Brink.
And now back to more Brink TV.
What's happening, everybody? I'm Young Brink, host of the #1 music and entertainment talk show in Memphis and the Mid-South, Brink TV. And of course, these are my awards. But let me cut to the chase. I got a question for you guys. When was the last time that you were on television to promote your business or your music? You can't answer that, can you? Well, check this out. The BrinkTV Show, we interview artists, entrepreneurs, basically all forms of entertainment. So if you rap, sing, model, or you're a comedian, hey, we invite you to the BrinkTV couch. Now, we also play music videos, so if your video ain't too ratchet and you got a clean song, we can play it for you. Business owners, we play TV commercials as well, so contact us. And be sure to check us out each and every Tuesday night, Comcast Channel 31 at 9:30 p.m. If you don't have Comcast, you're in luck. just go to BrinkTVShow.com and check out the live stream.